Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg for today's Ultimate Mennonite Conference Women's Lacrosse Contest, featuring visiting Royals of Eastern Mennonite University and your Lynchburg Hornets. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a special day for Lynchburg women's lacrosse as we celebrate Senior Day. We are making up for lost time this year, recognizing both the members of the class of 2020 who lost their senior day due to the COVID-19 pandemic's interruption of college athletics, and the senior class of 2021. First, let's meet the Lynchburg women's class of 2020. Number 28, Aaron Gardner. Escorted by her parents, Mike and John, and brother Tim. A defender from Storysport, New Jersey, Aaron has been an all-dot O player at NSCAA strength and conditioning All-American, a member of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and National Society of Leadership and Success. Aaron graduated with a business administration major and a sport management minor. She is currently pursuing a master's in business administration. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Gardner. Number one, Danielle Huck. Escorted by her father, Chris, an attacker from Alexandria, Virginia. Danielle was a Kinsey Scholar and graduated from Lynchburg with a degree in biology. She currently works as an analyst at a marketing and strategy firm. Ladies and gentlemen, Danielle Huck. Number 14, Carly Sanger. Escorted by her brother Tammy, stepmother Mary, and brothers Austin and Tyler. An attacker from Kennebuck, Maine, Carly is an ODAC All-Academic Operator and earned a degree in sport management. She is currently pursuing a master's in nonprofit leadership at the university. An intern in the Sports Information Office, the athletic department would like to thank her for bringing her cheer and work ethic to Turner Gym and Google Meet over the course of the past year. Ladies and gentlemen, Carly Sanger. Number 11, Nikki Santoro, escorted by her parents, Tammy and Joe, and her brother, CJ. An attacker from Tewksbury, Massachusetts, Nikki graduated from Hobart and William Smith colleges, where she played 4 years for the Hurricanes, and joined Lynchburg for 2020-2021. She's a graduate assistant at the University of Communications and Marketing and pursuing her master's in business administration. Ladies and gentlemen, Nikki Santoro. And last, but certainly not least in the class of 2020, number 3, Kelsey Trevison, escorted by her parents, Pat and her brother Taylor, an attacker from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Kelsey is a 2-time All-ODAC selection. She graduated with a degree in management last spring and is pursuing a master's in business administration at the university. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelsey Trevison. And now, let's meet the Lynchburg women's lacrosse class of 2021. Number 21, Jackie Amato, escorted by her parents, Dolores and Joe, an attacker from Massachusetts, New York. Jackie is a member of Kappa Delta and the University of Massachusetts. She has won Lynchburg's Female Academic Athlete of the Year Award and the University's 2021 Teacher of Promise Award. An ODAC All-Academic Scholar, Jackie will graduate with a degree in elementary education and minors in history and special education. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Amato. Number 7, Leah Dumas, escorted by her mother, Isabel, a midfielder from Kennebuck. Leah is a member of multiple honor societies and is the winner of the Hopkins Scholarship and the University's Great Scholarship. An ODAC All-Academic Scholar, Leah will graduate with a degree in business administration and minors in management and criminology. Ladies and gentlemen, Leah Dumas. Number 17, Camille Lamont, escorted by her parents, Lisa and Tony, an attacker from Londonderry, New Hampshire. Camille is a member of the Public Relations Student Society of America and the National Society for Leadership and Success. A Dean's List and ODAC All-Academic Scholar, she will graduate with a degree in marketing and public relations minor. Ladies and gentlemen, Camille Lamont. Number 2, Corinne Romero, escorted by her mother, and sister Marissa, a midfielder from Colgan Beach, Delaware. Corinne is a student athlete advisory committee representative and a member of the Public Relations Student Society of America and the National Society for Leadership and Success. She currently interns with the University's Office of Academic Education. A Dean's List and ODAC All-Academic Scholar, Corinne graduated with a degree in Communications with a Public Relations emphasis. Ladies and gentlemen, Corinne LeMay. Number 24, Mason Whitten, escort of a midfielder from Charlottesville, Virginia. Mason is a member of the National Society for Leadership and Success and works for the Lynchburg Hornet Sports Network. A Dean's List scholar, she will graduate with a degree in exercise physiology with a sports medicine minor. Ladies and gentlemen, Mason Whitten. Let's give another round of applause for the Lynchburg Lacrosse classes of 2020 and 2021.
My name is Brittany Coleman. I graduated in 2014 and I have a major in chemistry and a minor in secondary education, and I'm currently teaching chemistry and 7th grade science at a local combined school. Being able to have access to your professors pretty much anytime they're in their office is really helpful, especially in difficult science subjects. I love that I am able to teach a difficult subject to students who typically aren't going to perceive it as enjoyable. I'm able to present it in an interesting way because I was presented this information in an interesting way. It's nice for me to be able to mirror what it was that influenced me to be able to teach.
My name is Jen Hyde. I graduated in 2018 and I got my major in philosophy, political science, and I minored in human services. And career-wise, right now I work at a residential treatment center for juveniles with sexually reactive behaviors. I would say the biggest advantage is definitely that it is a small campus. You know, you get to have that one-on-one with your professors. They're willing to help you out. They're going to get to know you more than just a student that they're teaching. You know, they really invest into your lives. Definitely use every resource that you can kind of get at Lynchburg. There's tons of mentors within the professors, the faculty, the staff here, your peers that are here. You have so many options that you can take. There's so many classes, you know, even if it's not within your major, if there's a class you're interested in, take it. Kind of explore your options because Lynchburg does have such a wide variety of different things that you can do. You know, be involved, become a well-rounded individual because Lynchburg sets up the support to where you can do that here.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
John Echols joined the Lynchburg College community in 1986 as Director of Housing. As his famous beard grew, so too did his stature with the students he served on a daily basis. He seemed to be everywhere and rapidly became an integral part of campus life. He was asked to serve temporarily as Dean of Students in 1993 and soon earned the position on a permanent basis. In 2007, he became Vice President for Student Development, a position he held until his retirement in 2016. Simply put, John Echols set the standard for student affairs professionals. He led the growth of Hornet Pride throughout the last 2 decades of his service through his direct and constant interaction with students, through his colorful sense of humor, through his visibility on campus, through the Red Chairs, the Red Chair blogs, and all the colorful emails to students. He created the annual Leadership Awards ceremony. In addition, John contributed his sense of humor, his calm demeanor, and his common sense approach to the leadership of the college at the highest levels of administration. He even donned a hard hat and work boots to supervise the construction of the Drysdale Student Center. His summer talks to new students, although wrapped in humor, were serious as he spoke his mantra, "Involvement is not an option, it is an expectation." He lived that ideal through his own involvement in student life, as the head cheerleader at Hornet Athletic Contests, and as a friendly and approachable face for generations of students. His legacy is a treasure for the students whose lives he impacted and a challenge for the entire university community to emulate.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field. After the Senior Day festivities have been complete, we are ready for today's matchup featuring the 0-3 women's lacrosse team from Eastern Mennonite University and the home team today, the University of Lynchburg, at a record of 6-3 overall, 3-1 in conference play. Those 3 losses are all in conference as well. for EMU. 10 seniors from last year's class and this year's class being honored. You can see Erin Gardner as well playing today in that cast on her right knee. She did suffer a minor ACL tear, went to the doctor this week, has been cleared to play, and I think she'll be out here for a little bit just because it's senior day, and then promptly head to the sidelines for the rest of the action so that she can prepare for the next match for the Hornets against the Maroons of Roanoke College. I'm Joe Hutzler, happy to narrate your journey today here from Lynchburg, Virginia, as these two programs meet for the first time ever. EMU in their second season ever as a program, and off to a tough start, but more importantly, growing the sport in other parts of this state and the country. And that is what's important when it comes to the growth of lacrosse. More schools, more people get involved, the better for everyone that is trying to grow it. Right away, Santora to Witten, and there will be a whistle. And the number 24 for Lynchburg, Mason Witten, being honored today as the traditional senior, class of 2021. We'll head to the free position area. She is 0 for 2 so far this season in these moments. Make it 1 for 3. Mason Witten breaks the ice for the Hornets just 34 seconds into the first half. Great athleticism from Mason Witten out of Charlottesville, Virginia. She was someone that caught the eye of Coach Reed right away as a freshman, got some playing time in her first season, and has catapulted to a starter and one of the traditional 2021 graduates that has the decision-making process of whether or not to come back next season. Everyone who played last year, not just the graduating seniors, has that extra year of eligibility to their credit. As a big stop comes from EMU's 25 in blue, 26, I beg your pardon, Ariana Nixon, sophomore, also from Charlottesville, Virginia. A whistle that keeps it with EMU. This is Juliana Galley, sophomore from Aldie, Virginia. This EMU offense led by Tricarico, Morgan Tricarico. 4 goals and 1 assist this season for a team leading 5 points in 3 games. This is Tricarico. Gets hit up high by the stick of Corinne Lemaire. And that'll be a free position for Tricarico. 0 for 3 this season. She's a bit far for a shot, so we'll gladly pass that away to Skylar Hedgepeth. And then stolen away by Trevisan. Passes ahead to Carly Sandler. Dynamic duo for this Lynchburg offense. Sandler down the middle, connects with Amato and goes up top and collects one off the crossbar. Rebound comes to Santora. Shooting space violation, and Santora will have a free position opportunity. And Santora makes it 2-0, barring the checking of her stick. She is now 6 of 9 on the year in free position opportunities, and a crucial component to this Lynchburg's offensive success, coming in as a graduate transfer from William Smith a year ago. Had a stellar career, winning some championships. And then coming to Lynchburg to be a graduate student a place that she's familiar with because of her brother, C.J. Santora, who is now an assistant coach for men's lacrosse, but played 4 years in the cage for Coach Kudelka. There's a look at Coach Reed enjoying one of the most successful seasons nationally that he has ever had. They've never been ranked before, and since obtaining the 23rd ranking about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they've kept that top 25 ranking ever since. They are now 24th in the nation. And coming off an historic win against Randolph-Macon as the offense goes back to work, it's Dumas going low side through the legs of Nixon. And Leah Dumas on senior day, making it 3 for 3 for seniors or fifth years to score. But I want to go back to their last match, which was the 18-15 win over Randolph-Macon earlier this week. If you look at the stats, you look at the records, of course, Macon is not having the season they typically have. There is a graduate of Randolph-Macon, by the way, for EMU, Katie Russo, second season, of course, starting this program. She enjoyed some success as an all-ODAC player for the Yellow Jackets and actually had success as a player against Lynchburg back then. 3 wins versus Lynchburg, including the 2016 ODAC semifinal win. Unfortunately, she would go on with her teammates to lose to WNL in the title game during her senior season. But Lynchburg, with that win earlier this week, it's their first win against Randolph-Macon since April of 2013. So the freshman season of Coach Russo was the last time Lynchburg had a victory over the Yellow Jackets. 8 straight losses before that 18-15 victory earlier this week, so a huge program victory for them. They also have a big win over Mary Washington, a team that they had struggled against in their recent history. And how about that? Camille Lamont on senior day, her first career goal for 17 in gray. All smiles for the Londonderry, New Hampshire native, and for good reason. As she takes advantage of the moment in front of her and creates a memory that will last a lifetime. Our field camera is tilting to the left, just like this game is. All left offense for Lynchburg has been in control from the start. EMU's had a few offensive possessions, but nothing to really write home about just yet. Loose ball off the draw, and a whistle keeps it with Lynchburg. So far this season, EMU's game high in goals has been 8, and that 22-8 loss versus Bridgewater to start the year as Kelsey Trevison gets involved in the goal party. That makes it 5 different goal scorers for Lynchburg, all of them class of 2020 or 2021. Jackie Amato, she's been super close. She's the only one that her and Lemaire in that group that you just looked at on your screen. She's the only one that hasn't found the back of the net yet. She's had a couple good chances. We'll see if she can do that as EMU takes a timeout. They trail 5-0 in the first 3 minutes of action from Schellenberger Field.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something. It becomes a family. It's what the school's really good at doing.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
Got a little September playing over the speakers inside Schellenberger Field, and kind of feels like that type of day. A fall day here is it's going to be cloudy all day long, and actually has already forced our hand related to the men's lacrosse match later on today, which was slated for a 7 p.m. start under the lights, but now we'll start at 4 p.m. also under the lights, just a little bit lighter outside than we expected for their match against the Maroons of Roanoke College. Lynchburg men's lacrosse ranked 5 in the nation, 5th, if I want to say grammar stuff properly. 5th in the nation for them, and always a good time when Lynchburg and Roanoke meet on the lacrosse field, whether it's men's or women's for that matter. And we look forward to bringing you the action in a little less than 3 hours, and that'll be on the Lacrosse Sports Network, LSN. You can find the direct link to that at lynchburgsports.com on the men's lacrosse schedule page. Meanwhile here, it's 5 different goal scorers for Lynchburg, and all 5 have been seniors of some type, whether traditional 2021s or fifth-year 2020s. And this is a motto to Lemaire, and keep it going, folks. 6 seniors scoring. They've even got Erin Gardner out there playing offense. She is a defender, and you see that right leg of hers with the brace. Kind of favoring a little bit, but hoping that she could maybe collect a rare goal for a defensive player. It would also be her first. Not the first for Corinne Lemaire, not even the first for this season for Lemaire. 3 goals now on this season to go along with 3 assists. Corinne's field hockey sister, Carissa, is here to celebrate senior day with her. Carissa spent 4 seasons under the direction of Coach Enza Steele, and that formidable field hockey program. We have a couple of field hockey players currently that are sitting down on the track taking in the action. Maggie Chapese, Alex Redman, Taylor Green, Taylor Jones, and Alex Boatwright taking in today's contest and supporting their fellow Hornets. They were in action last night against Eastern Mennonite, a 3-0 victory in Harrisonburg. And they will be back in action next week for the start of the ODAC tournament. They're the 1 seed, so they'll skip past the quarterfinals, and we'll have their semifinal match here next Friday night. And hopefully a championship game to broadcast on Sunday, which is what we have tomorrow, by the way. Lynchburg men's soccer, the 4 seed, upsetting number 1 Hampton-Sydney last night in overtime 2-1. And so we will have their broadcast against Guilford College for the men's soccer championship tomorrow at 3 p.m. here on LHSN. So plenty of action for you to tune into no matter what your plans are. We are here on your mobile device, your tablet, your smart TV, wherever you want to check it out, there's a way to find us. Megan Hickey trying to find some space, and does. It's a violation against Lynchburg. And Hickey, the freshman from Stewartstown, Pennsylvania, will look at a free position opportunity. 4 goals this season for Hickey, 1 of those on a free position. And she'll let one go, and Broughton's there for the stop. First save of the afternoon. Hickey now 1 for 5 on free position opportunities. And Lynchburg's quick counter offense going back to work. They're looking for Gardner or Amato. Their plan is to get every senior an opportunity to shoot and hopefully to tally a goal. Amato is behind the cage. Here's Gardner through the middle. That pass was off the mark, though, and it will roll. Does it go across the red line? No. Lemaire does a fantastic job of towing it, and now they say that it did go over and back on this side. They'll reset the clock, and we'll go back to work. 90 seconds reset on the clock, as you see it there on our score bug. Slightly smaller than the new scoreboard in the venue, which was used extensively for the senior day festivities. Performed pretty well, so we're excited about the progress being made on the video board side of things here in Schellenberger Field. As soon as the pavilion is completely enclosed and ready for our equipment to move in, we will do so and take this venue's environment to a whole other level for everyone to enjoy. Timeout taken, 24:39 to go. Lynchburg leads it 6-0 on LHSN.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
Welcome back to University of Lynchburg. There are the field hockey ladies that I mentioned a few moments ago, masked up and enjoying today's festivities, and looking forward to more lacrosse action today at 4 p.m. Right now it's a 6-0 lead for Lynchburg over EMU, also outshooting the Royals 8-1. Each keeper has a save or two to their credit, and we continue to roll here. EMU has used up another timeout. I didn't see an official point to either sideline. It might actually have been a timeout from Coach Reed and the Hornets trying to set something up here specifically for Amato, who is number 21, or 28, Aaron Gardner. Again, Gardner is a defensive player, but has an opportunity against today's opponent to tally her first career goal, just as Camille Lamont did 2 goals ago. It will be Amato starting things off. Santora sprinting through the middle. Now coming back for Gardner! Erin Gardner, her first career goal. How about that? Huge moment, as you can tell by the celebration of her teammates surrounding her, keeping away from that right knee that's not 100%. But now with a goal, she can step aside, enjoy the rest of today's action from the sideline, and get ready for a battle with the Maroons of Roanoke College. Big moment for the Stewartsville, New Jersey native, coming back for a 5th year and being able to do something she has not done, and making it 7 for 7. 7 seniors, 7 goals. Touching moment as she comes off the turf, getting a big hug from Coach Holtgren, and we'll go down and promptly get one from Coach Reed as well. And as I expected, she tosses her stick down, takes her knee brace off. She's like, "I'm done. I did what I wanted to do. Time to enjoy the rest from the comfort of the sideline." So Amato is the only one left that has been out there on the offensive end, still looking for a goal. I haven't looked it up, but if memory serves me right, it would not be her first career goal, but it would be the first of this season. I beg your pardon, it would be her 5th. No wonder she's not clamoring to get to it, as Sandler pots her 2nd. If part of my pregame didn't include 7 other things, maybe I would have been more prepared. So apologies to Jackie and her family watching, who knew that she already had 4 goals. Now Sandler has 2 today and 14 on the year to go along with 14 assists. Sandler and Trevison are 2 Lynchburg players in the top 5 within the ODAC and 5 statistical, their top 4, statistical categories on the offensive end: goals, assists, points, and shots. Trevison is tops in points with 45. Carly Sandler 5th in the ODAC with those 14 assists. Very balanced, literally balanced year, 14 and 14 for, you know what I'm going to say next, number 14. I have to say it now because the way things are going, won't have much time to say it later, I'm sure. Clean win on the draw by Mason Witten, a fellow LHS center. Making lacrosse her priority this spring, as she should, as this Lynchburg team has proven that they can be and should be considered top 2 in the conference. Disappointing loss to Washington and Lee, but we all know that that program is just on a different level entirely. As Trevison takes care of business, her second. Sandler will get the assist, so just like that, 15 apples for her. And for Trevison, that is 35 goals this season. And we still got some time to go here. Once again, Lynchburg in control on the offensive end. 11 shots here in the first 7 minutes. And 1 goal away from enforcing the running clock rule of women's lacrosse. And there we go. It's Jackie Amato. 5th goal of the season, first of the day today. 8 different goal scorers for Lynchburg. And now the clock will continue to run since it is 10-0. All smiles for the Massapequa, New York native, Jackie Amato, who is an infectious, positive person. Always love seeing Jackie in the hallway around campus because I know she's going to make my day better just by saying hello. And she's got plenty of things to be positive about right now. Her team well in control, on their way to another victory today. And she has a goal to boot. The natural opportunities to talk about EMU won't necessarily be there today due to their lack of them having possession, but Nixon does a great job at first, and that one does stay wide of the cage. Big stop initially, and now she'll scoop it up. So best defensive possession for the Royals so far this afternoon, but I wanted to just take a second, and I'm probably going to bring this up again, but just tip my cap, a really, really big cap for that matter, to Coach Russo. This is not going to be an easy thing for her to take on for sure. And yet she saw the opportunity to better her career by being a head coach and starting a program all up from here, right, if you start out from scratch. And more importantly, continuing to teach the game to a wide variety of girls and hopefully make EMU a place that people look to play women's lacrosse and grow that depth on the bench that only has one player right now that she can sub in and out currently for this team. So I think it's so fantastic that she took a chance on this and saw the opportunity to definitely go through some really tough times, especially considering the career that she had as a player, but more importantly, seeing the bigger picture of starting something fresh and growing the game of lacrosse. That'll be a foul on Lynchburg. Having that ball for a long time was Juliana Galley. Great control from her. As you can hear the wind whistle through the safety netting. As I mentioned earlier, there is a storm front moving in, which has changed the start time of men's lacrosse to 4 p.m., so we'll have about an hour or so break between this and that. I think we'll have some student workers headed for the snacks between games. And me as well. I haven't told them this yet, but there is some pizza in the office. So that's good news. And it's not that old, actually. Last night, got back late from men's soccer. The boys and men had ordered pizza for the team and gave us our own. I didn't eat any of it. I had a little bit of theirs and kept a box for the employees today, so it's only about 12 hours old, not a big deal. Jackie Amato could not get the shot away. Good deflection by the defense, but in the end it's a foul. And I think it'll be, actually a yellow card is going to go against Amato. Interesting. She's jogging back to the penalty area. It was hard to see. Again, we're still on the, as you can tell from the camera angle, we're still on the other side of the field. We are not perched up. So some things like that, when it's so congested around the crease, it's really tough for me and even you sometimes, based on that camera angle, to see what exactly happened. So I do not know. And no one came over to tell the PA announcer, so all he said was penalty on Lynchburg 21. So that's all we know. Amato is sitting down for 2 minutes, and EMU is trying to continue to learn through their own mistakes, trying to find some success today, some positive moments to take away from their 4th game this season, just their 5th game ever as a program. Actually, that's poor math. This should be their 6th game because today is their 4th. They played 2 last year. Boom. As I've mentioned many times on other broadcasts, there is a reason that I had to take math twice in college. Carly Sandler, well, I don't know how she is at math, but she's a pretty daggone good goal scorer. And she now has a hat trick this afternoon on her 2nd senior day. Last year, of course, it was not celebrated in person. It was a virtual senior day, so I don't know if you really want to count that or not. This is certainly more the traditional nature and the one that I would count if I was in her shoes. And Coach Reed calls a timeout. Going to make some changes on the field. We will see what those are when we come back. Lynchburg in control, 11-0 on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
And we are back at Schellenberger Field. Thank you for tuning in. A little less than 18 minutes to go in the first half. Lynchburg firmly in control here. I want to go ahead and take a look at other scores on the Lynchburg Sports website. You can do so as well easily at lynchburgsports.com/composite. Not everybody knows about that little shortcut, but that'll give you the full schedule per day of everyone in action, and it allows us to see that Lynchburg softball leads Bridgewater in the top of the 8th, 3-2. So they've gone to extras, and the Hornets have taken the lead. So the Eagles need to score 1 run to keep that one going. Otherwise, it's another victory for the Hornets there. Indoors, Lynchburg volleyball swept Emory and Henry 3-0. No results yet from tennis that started today at 12 o'clock. And here it's 11-0. Hornets in control. We also have the second game for softball coming up at 2 p.m. as well as that'll actually be like probably 2:30 thanks to the extra innings there. But second match today for Lynchburg volleyball as they celebrate Senior Day will be at 4 p.m. Unfortunately, I cannot call that one as I anticipated because they have moved the men's lacrosse game up to 4 p.m. Number 5 Lynchburg against the Maroons of Roanoke. So I will be out here for that. As we anticipate there being nasty weather this evening. So we've got some new faces out there for Lynchburg. Gone are the seniors. We'll see a lot of younger folks on the turf, including Sydney Miller, freshman goalkeeper out of Annapolis, Maryland, who is in there right now for the Hornets. We can see Jade Meyer facing the ball. Also, Maddie Mueller currently playing defense. Tori King, Kaylin Satterfield, and a goal for the Royals. They'll check the stick, but it looks like the Royals have taken the goose egg off the board. And it seems to be Juliana Galley, a sophomore from Aldie, Virginia. For her, that is goal number 5, so she now leads the team in that category. Good work from 23 in blue. And a wake-up call for the Hornets, who have been enjoying the domination from the sideline. Good build-up, but a ground ball scooped up after it was knocked away. Zaisha Ba had it, lost it. And Lynchburg's offense goes back to work. Dara Gregory carrying it now, and a good pass and connecting for the goal. Michelle Perkins on the end of that pass, the freshman from Gainesville, Virginia. And for Perkins, that is her 3rd goal of the season as a freshman. And Gregory will pick up the assists. Two younger players that are used to being on the stat sheet with the proper response after giving up that goal a moment ago. So it's Carly Hughes for Lynchburg taking another draw. Good fight. Hickey was there. And a bouncer that is scooped up and kept by Tori King. And once again, the efficient passing of Lynchburg, just too quick, slicing through the defensive gaps from EMU. And this time, it is Peyton Seville, another freshman. This one from Berryville, Virginia, not far from where I grew up. For Seville, that is goal number 3 of the year. Coach Reed enjoying what he's seeing, thinking about, what other changes can I make? What other lineups can I put out there? I'm not sure how this person plays with this person. We haven't had a chance to work on this in practice. Maybe I can filter that into the game plan today. Foul against EMU, and Lynchburg's offense will go back to work. And quickly, just a few seconds is all it takes. Mia Sullivan, sophomore from Southbury, Connecticut, gets in on the scoring festivities. And for Sullivan, that is her second goal of the season. Gregory with another assist. It's a very ominous wind sound. Man, it's kind of cool though, so we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it. Again, we've got microphones on each end of the field, and they're pretty small. They do have windscreens on them, but nothing so powerful that it's going to completely block out the wind. And I guess the way that it's just sliding across the top of the microphone at the moment is giving it that eerie sound. Maybe it's a sign of things to come for EMU, and it is, as yet another Hornet scores. I can't even keep up with how many different Hornets have scored today. This time it's Carly Hughes, sophomore from East Newmarket, Maryland. 6th goal of the season for the sophomore. Lynchburg's highest goal total in a single game this season came back in the first game of the season against the Cougars of Averett University. That was a 22-4 final that day. And a simple game plan for the Hornets. Start out wide, put it in the middle, and it's one-on-one. This time Gregory adding to her 2 assists with a goal as well. Sixth goal of the season. She's over double digits in the assist category now. Aaron Gardner in the middle of your screen. Thanks to Mr. Henderson for the email letting me know that today was her second goal ever in her career. First one in a while, of course. And this one coming on Senior Day, which is a little bit more special. But a big thank you to the man who continues to support women's lacrosse even after his daughter Rachel graduated after 4 stellar seasons playing defense for Coach Reed. Many thanks for the email. We want to make sure that we get it right. Sometimes in games like this, there's just so many things to tabulate that you lose track, or more importantly, you just don't have the ability to look up something as quickly as you like. So apologies for saying that was her first. It was her second, but it was her first this season. And it seems like ages ago since that goal was scored. Lynchburg out shooting EMU right now 20-2. Both of EMU's shots have been on target, which is a plus. The Hornets, all but one, have been on goal. 3 saves for Nixon. We got a save for Julia Broughton earlier. Nothing so far for Sydney Miller, who substituted for Broughton a little while ago. The Hornets are also 3 of 4 on free position shots. Megan Schroeder trying to make it 4 for 5. And Will with the bouncer. Sophomore from Levittown, New York. Her first career goal. A pretty impressive one as well, especially from that free position length away and just bouncing it past the keeper. Coach Russo talking things over with Megan Hickey. There's the other one on the field, Elise Henderson. Under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Joe Hutzler with you today from cloudy Lynchburg, Virginia. It has been a very successful past few days for the Hornets athletic department, as this whistle and foul is going to go against the Hornets. That's Peyton Linden, who will be charged with the infraction, lowering that shoulder a bit. And I think the officials want to chat about how egregious it was. I know the official with the ball cap was ready for a card. And sorry, it's a bunch of arm movements. Hopeful that the people in the donkey over there know what the heck most of that meant. I know you do. I know you, if you're watching, you understand the majority of what that means. And I just have to admit that I haven't taken the time to learn all of the signals. When you call 10 sports, sometimes you just have to learn the basics and move on. Good spin inside, goal line extended, but then swatted away. I like the effort from Morgan Tricarico, but better jab from Peyton Linden, making up for that penalty a few moments ago. And now the offense in control again. GLE, no reason to push from Gregory. Five minutes remaining. in the first half. Lynchburg on their way to another victory, as that one finds the back of the net from Henderson. With the win today, Lynchburg will be on a winning streak of 4 straight after their last loss coming to Washington and Lee 16-8. They've taken care of their opponents since, and it is the second to last home match for Lynchburg. Waiting for Mark Weaver to stop yelling in my ear. Henderson now has her first career goal as a Hornet, a freshman from North Carolina. Back to the schedule for Lynchburg. They have one more home match. That'll be next Wednesday at 7 o'clock against the Maroons of Roanoke College before they hit the road at SVU, at Guilford, and finishing up in Winchester, Virginia, 1 o'clock on the 24th against the SU Hornets. And then the ODAC tournament will begin on Wednesday the 28th with the championship game scheduled for Sunday, May the 2nd. I know that this Lynchburg team has aspirations, believes that they can be there on May the 2nd. And when it comes to ODAC opponents, their only struggles this season have been with Washington and Lee. Wednesday night will be crucial as well. Always a good measuring stick when you play Roanoke, even Shenandoah in recent years. They'll know for sure by the time they get to Wednesday, April 28th, if their confidence is worth keeping at a high level or if there's still some things to work on to try and get back to the semifinals for the first time in a while. As another goal is scored, Libby Kennedy, sophomore from Virginia Beach, under 3 minutes to go, takes care of business. Sun peeking out here in Lynchburg, Virginia on a very bright day for this Lynchburg offense. On their way to scoring perhaps the most goals of the season today in a single game. Again, the previous number is 24. I'd be interested to see what the game plan is for Coach Reed, as you definitely don't want to let off the gas too much with your second and third string players. You want them to run through the game plan and use this as a way for them to get better, but also you don't want to make it to a situation where EMU is not going to really learn anything as a brand new program. You want to give them some chances to work on their clearing game, set up their offense. So we'll see how much Lynchburg pushes, perhaps taking the shot clock down to 0 in the second half before giving it to the Royals. We'll see. As Torrey King's shot was blocked by Nixon. 5 saves for Nixon in the first half. Mostly making the stops on the low shots. And a foul against the Hornets. So EMU will have it with 45 seconds to go in the first half. We are short-staffed today, so unfortunately we cannot show you highlights of the first half as we normally would, because we do not have a replay operator, as you have been able to tell, most likely. But we will take a break, take it all in, get ready for the second half of play here. About 10 seconds left. Ba with it, looking and losing it under her own accord. And that will do it for the first 30 minutes of play. Lynchburg leading EMU by a score of 19-1 after 30 minutes on LHSN.
Everyone has a story, a triumph, a time they fell short, a gift, a light all their own. Every story has a beginning. For us, our stories began long before we got here, at the moment we discovered we had something to share with the world. But no matter where we've been, our journeys weave together at the University of Lynchburg. Since 1903, we've grown from a handful of students to a diverse, dynamic community of students, professors, staff, and alumni around the world. In a community that supports who we are and who we want to be, we're on a journey to find where our passions lead so we can lead others to find theirs. Together, we have more experience, we have more knowledge than we do alone. Eventually, our stories will lead us to a path all our own, and we will share our passions with the world. No matter the journey we choose, the University of Lynchburg is, and always will be, our home.
Here's to life and here's to Lynchburg, to the years we spent together. I don't know when or how we gathered, but I know I'm home. So here's to love and here's to the heartache, all the laughter, every mistake. I don't know how our lives will be changed, but here I am home. Here I'm home.
Thomas Gibson Hobbs graduated from Virginia Christian College in 1904 as a member of its first graduating class. After earning a law degree from the University of Virginia, he settled in Lynchburg and began a highly successful career as an attorney. In January of 1915, he was invited to attend a meeting of the College Board of Trustees, during which the possibility of closing the college due to financial concerns was to be considered. Mr. Hobbs spoke eloquently of the need to fight for the college's existence, and the board decided to continue operating the institution. He was asked to serve on the board at that meeting and served as a chairman of the Board of Trustees from 1918 until his tragic death in 1942. Mr. Hobbs was a guiding light as the college changed its name to Lynchburg College and moved toward becoming an accredited liberal arts institution. His relationships with the economic power structure of the city played a critical role as the young college struggled financially through the depths of the Great Depression. His belief in Josephus Hopwood's vision of the college never wavered, as reflected in his message to the student body in the late 1930s. Lynchburg College, with continued wise leadership, is just on the threshold of development into an institution which will, in still larger measure, build sound leadership in church and school and state, a leadership which will look for its reward in the consciousness of service rendered and a task well done. Upon his death in 1942, the Board of Trustees unanimously adopted a resolution of appreciation which named Mr. Hobbs as, quote, the college's greatest leader, unquote.
Halftime at University of Lynchburg. The Hornets taking care of business against the Royals, 19-1 on LHSN.
Lynchburg really stood out for me just because of the way it treated its students. They really do make an effort here, and I've learned that over my 4 years is that they actually do try to listen to what the student body wants, and they try to act on that. They don't really just give you a piece of paper here to then go off and do your own thing. They actually prepare you to work with different populations, which is what the world is all about. It's just working with people that are different than you. They genuinely care that everyone has the ability to go off into the world and make a difference with whatever they like. For me, that's just being basically in a room with someone helping them achieve their first goal of, I don't know, doing a pull-up. I actually do believe they want you to do the best you can to change someone's life for the better. You can be anyone here, which I think is really cool. But regardless of who you are here, they will make sure you don't fall through the cracks, which is awesome. I have realized that I've never felt lost here. I will not regret ever coming here, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that I came here. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome.
My name is Marlene Castaños. I graduated in 2009. I was a communication major. I am a digital producer now for the Martin Agency. So we have a lot of amazing clients from Geico to Land O'Lakes to Oreo. So we get to create amazing content, all those funny Geico commercials that you see. And as a digital producer, I get to create amazing content for digital. I was very highly involved here. I was president of my class while I was here. I was president of the Hispanic Society. I joined a sorority when I was here. I had 2 jobs. So having a sense of managing my time, it kind of pushed me to be better at my job right now. Just knowing that you had someone on your corner was really important, and they really took the time to really invest in their students. I felt like I had a cheerleading squad behind me at every single point. They were the ones that encouraged me to look for those opportunities, to push myself to be better. So it's definitely truly an amazing place. I brag about this place all the time. So if anyone gets lucky enough to be part of this community, it's life-changing.
My name is Taylor Clark, and I graduated in the spring of 2019, and I was a math major, and I'm currently a processing and packaging supply chain leader at Frito-Lay here in Lynchburg. As a math major, I loved every single second being in the classroom. I would fight for those professors, my classmates. I learned and grew as a person being in that class and challenging myself more than I would have ever thought I could. A big part of my job is root cause analysis and being able to look at a problem and figure out why did this happen and how can we make sure that this doesn't happen again. So as a math major, you learn that you need to have fundamental truths before you make any other statement, make any other assumption. The reason why I chose Lynchburg, and it's the general consensus on campus, is the relationship you get to build with your professors. And that sense of community that you get where you and your peers all understand and know that the people who are trying to push me to be better also will support me through it all.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It's what the school's really good at doing.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it in our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
Here we go. Second half about to get underway. Lynchburg in control 19-1. On their way to their fourth straight victory on what has become a very sunny Schellenberger field, which is nice. Good for anybody who is enjoying this in person. As I guess you would say, the calm before the legitimate storm that's on its way. That has forced some changes on our schedule today. Again, a reminder, Lynchburg men's lacrosse, number 5 in the country, playing Roanoke today at 4 p.m., no longer a 7 p.m. start. So it will be very close in timing at the end of this contest before that one. The running clock here, because of the score, means that this game should be over. There will be, of course, stops on if there are fouls, but if it's just goals or no goals, just playing through, then this contest should end around 2:45. So we'll have about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes before our pregame begins on LSN for Lynchburg men's lacrosse versus Roanoke. Will be interesting to see. We will be interested. Man, I'm just not feeling it today. We will be interested to see what approach Coach Reed and this Lynchburg lacrosse team takes related to their opponent. It looks like they are going to take the shot clock down before they think about making any type of effort towards the goal. Right here, we see that play out with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Dara Gregory with her third assist, and Tori King with her second goal of the afternoon. And as I was trying to speak fluently, it wasn't working very well. I was also trying to see how many different goal scorers that we have had today. In fact, it's going to take me a while to count it. 18 different goal scorers today. Just 2 players with 2 goals. I thought Carly Sandler had 3, but says she has 2. Kelsey Trevison also with 2, and everyone else with 1. Lynchburg's only save today came from Julia Broughton on one shot faced. Sydney Miller, who is starting in the second half as we have a streaker. It's much better than a streaker. It is a beautiful dog. And calming him down is Lindsay Ferreira, the junior from Darien, Connecticut, the dog whisperer. This is not the first time we've had an animal on the field during an LHSM broadcast. In fact, there was a cat a few years ago that sprinted across the field during a soccer match. I prefer dogs over cats, but both moments were great as the owner of the dog sprinting across to the other side of the field, not taking the way the dog took, in fact, going all the way around. Coach Reed saying, come on, man. What a day. What a day. All you can do is laugh and enjoy. And the owner has been making her way over and now is there. And we are ready to get back to work. Clever, a little bit late, but clever. Correct song choice, for sure. Well, back to the task at hand as Lynchburg continues to add to their goal total. They are at 20 goals for what is the second time this season. I'm sorry, third time this season. Man, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't read. I can't remember things. It's just, it's a really long evening. It's turned into a long day, but I might be one of the few that's actually in favor of this 4 o'clock men's lacrosse start because that means that the day will end earlier than anticipated. Max, our director, agrees with that. I'm sure his reasons for wanting the day to be done earlier are different than mine. I actually am excited to watch the full Martinsville NASCAR race tonight. Unless, of course, the rain is in Martinsville, Virginia, which is very possible, as it did postpone yesterday's Xfinity race until tomorrow. So would not be surprised if I get a night off and can actually enjoy being a fan, and Mother Nature says, ha ha ha. Good work by Micah Slacum, better work by Nixon. Actually, it might have gone off the defender in front of her. Perever's off. Unfortunately, on the pronunciation guide, there is none for number 4 out of Akron, Pennsylvania, which is perplexing. But nevertheless, we move on, and Nixon with another stop. She has over 6 saves today. The only goalkeeper on the roster. Sophomore from about an hour north of here, Charlottesville, Virginia. Tori King swats down that pass and lets the offense go back to work. Let's take another look at the Lynchburg Sports scoreboard, which again you can find at lynchburgsports.com/composite. And we're going to check in with Lynchburg softball, who took the lead in extra innings against Bridgewater on the road and then added to it. 4-2 final score Lynchburg softball defeats Bridgewater in 8 innings as we have a flag out and a pat on the head for a stick up too high and free position for Lynchburg. We told you that Lynchburg volleyball defeated Emory and Henry 3-0 earlier today. They had a huge program win as well on Wednesday night against Randolph-Macon. Both them and women's lacrosse defeating the Yellow Jackets for the first time in a long time. We talked about Lynchburg women's lacrosse. That was their first win against Macon since 2013. It was Lynchburg volleyball's first win against Macon since 2014. So equally a long streak between victories and hopefully a sign of good things to come for both of these programs. But nevertheless, I digress. Lynchburg volleyball winning today. They are now 5-1 in the conference and will play Shenandoah at 4 p.m. today, a part of a Lynchburg tri-match that features Emory and Henry and Shenandoah playing against one another right now. A lot of that because of the COVID restrictions on travel. You have Emory and Henry way down into the southern tip of Virginia, and of course the Shenandoah Hornets up in Winchester. So meeting in the middle, and Lynchburg today to battle against one another on the hardwood. Still no results yet from tennis, who are playing over at Cross White Athletic Club because of the impending weather. They are not playing here at home. Lynchburg softball has begun game number 2 for them. Hopefully they get those in before the weather makes its way up I-81 to Bridgewater, Virginia. And of course, we already told you about men's lacrosse at 4 o'clock today against Roanoke. Tomorrow, a big one here on LHSN, our 3rd ODAC championship that's being broadcasted on the best sports network in Division III and most of 1 and 2 as well. It'll be the ODAC men's soccer championship as Lynchburg hosts Guilford. Number 4 versus number 6. I love it. It is so fantastic to see the lower seeds getting a chance to play in these big-time games. And for Lynchburg, it's especially important because we get to work a little bit in a championship environment, and that is always fun to be a part of. The Hornets defeating Guilford earlier this year as that shot is saved by Miller. They defeated Guilford College earlier this season 5-0, but the Quakers, coming off of 2 upsets, will certainly want to continue that momentum and drive it into a revenge game tomorrow at 3 p.m. That game is 3 p.m. tomorrow here on Schellenberger Field. The Hornets looking for their 17th ODAC men's soccer championship. It would be number 7 for Coach Yeager in his tenure as the leader of the Hornets. Now whistle before the goal. No, they're going to count it. Basically like basketball, you get the follow through, and it's Micah Slacum adding to the different goal scorers today. That's the first goal of the season for Slacum. She's played in all 10 matches. This time, number 10 finds the back of the net. Libby Kennedy picks up the assist. And camera 1 has a moment. (20-21) with 20 minutes and 21 seconds to go. I waited 10 seconds to say that. Hopefully you appreciated it. Clock stops. Timeout on the field. Coach Reed and company chatting things up a little bit. So we will step aside and not chat. We're back in a moment. And we're back at Schellenberger Field, historic Schellenberger Field that has seen 5 women's lacrosse ODAC championships before. Not since 1989, though. 31 years ago. I know that quick math because I am 30. I was born in 1990. Lynchburg has a chance, a really good chance, based on their results, what we've seen so far this year, to make it to the ODAC final on May 2nd. Of course, they might be having to shock the world and defeat Washington and Lee in that effort, but I would imagine that just getting there, earning a spot in the final, would be such a crucial moment for this program's growth. Even though a disappointment could follow on that Sunday, it would be a fantastic, historic year for Coach Reed and the Hornets. They did reach the semifinals. Actually, in the senior season of Coach Russo, Katie Russo, the coach for EMU, Randolph-Macon defeated Lynchburg that day in the semifinals in 2016. I think that there was an issue with the fact that the shot clock reset. The official did not want that, so we go to 30 seconds on the shot clock. Under 20 minutes remaining, and a chance to thank the LHSN crew working today, both inside and out. Indoors, Olivia McGee, Marcus Herbert, Laurencia Moten, all making volleyball action happen on LHSN. Out here, it's Claire Galloway and Charlie Kruger on cameras, and Max Bourne pushing the buttons to take those cameras and commercials as our director. Also, Erin Farina, graduate student, is our lead photographer today on Schellenberger Field. Thank her for her efforts. And to Lauren Anderson, who rode with me last night to Hampton, Sydney, Virginia, in what is an always energetic, to say it politely, atmosphere, and endured that for an overtime victory by Lynchburg men's soccer, 2-1 over a team that they fell to earlier this season on this field by a score of 1-0. And for the second straight season, they go to Hampton Sydney, who was the #1 seed in the tournament, and upset the Tigers in extras. In 2019, it went to PKs, and Lynchburg was able to win that night, and did so last night. Goals from Nick Foley, and the freshman Manzi Shalita had the game winner in overtime. Looking very much forward to their match tomorrow at 3 p.m. against the Quakers of Guilford. Last time those two programs got together, it was an overtime win for Lynchburg. That was my 400th broadcast, by the way. I'll never be able to forget it, thanks to Michael Lyons and his overtime game winner. This is my second time on the mic this season for women's lacrosse, and much better result today for the home team, as they have dominated since the opening whistle against a very young and new program at EMU. Second season for the Royals. Of course, it's hard to say second season when you only get 2 games in during 2020. And that is not a good sign. A player is down and hurt. And as I mentioned earlier, there is not a lot of depth for this Royals team. And I'm worried that it's Megan Hickey who has been a crucial part of coming out, getting some words from Coach Russo, bringing those words back in, trying to help out, and more importantly, just caused that turnover. And then something happened to take her down, and she is writhing in pain, but is being overseen by Randy Rimby, an excellent athletic trainer here at University of Lynchburg, as are all of the ATs that call Lynchburg home. And so she is in good hands, and we will step aside. 16:01 to go in regulation. Hornets on top, 21-1.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
It is Megan Hickey who was down for EMU, but luckily, very fortunate to see her walk off mostly under her own power. Obviously, there's a limp there, but she's able to put weight on both legs. And like I said, being overseen by Randy Rimby, she will definitely get the best care possible. And Coach Russo will have to make some adjustments with a very short bench to go to pull in someone new. And we see Grace Hunsberger out there for the first time that I've seen her. I don't know if she's the one that subbed in directly, but Hunsberger, a freshman from Heston, Kansas, out there right now for the Royals. And oddly enough, the Royals are the ones that are slowing things down and taking their time now. But it's just so crucial to learn in these moments. Lynchburg is going to give you the ball. They're not concerned about scoring any more goals. That much is clear. They're going to give you a chance to work on clearing, to work on attacking. Everything that you've been practicing, you can now do it against someone else aside from your players, or your teammates. So that's crucial for EMU to work on those things. It's a tough spot to be in, down by this much, to still keep fighting, but it's crucially important for the growth of this program. If they want to get anywhere close to their counterparts, they're going to have to fight through these tough days. They're going to have to learn how to lose so they can appreciate the days of winning. They're definitely coming. Michelle Perkins has a free position opportunity. She's looking for her second goal today. But wisely, sportsmanship-like, pulls it back and lets Lynchburg take more time off the clock. I was joking around with my director during the last break about the running clock rule, and it's just so ironic that Lynchburg is in that mode of killing time as that one bounces in from Peyton Linden. But they're in that mode of killing time, and you have injuries and you have dogs running on the field, stopping the clock. In the end of this possession, Linden gets her second of the day, and it's 22-1. And Mark Weaver is still acting like it's the first goal of the game. I love it. I love his enthusiasm on the public address announcing today. Should also mention during that timeout that Lynchburg took a while ago, Lindsay Ferreira, a junior from Darien, Connecticut, is in between the pipes for the Hornets, so a new goalie for them. She's been featured on our cameras thanks to her dog whispering skills. She was the one that reined in the rogue puppy. And now she is looking forward to reining in some shots if any of them come her way. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we've already talked about today's schedule. Let's look ahead to tomorrow. We've got some home events going on. We've told you, of course, about men's soccer many times. Also, men's and women's tennis is in action tomorrow at noon, barring the weather, of course. Also, considering the weather, we may have a 12 and 2 o'clock doubleheader of softball down at Moon Field against Salisbury. That will be, both of those games will be on LHSN. And we've got field hockey with an exhibition against CNU at Henrico High School in Richmond, Virginia. That's an interesting matchup there. Two really good field hockey programs, but because of COVID-19, no non-conference matchups for them to put on to that schedule. So they're going to meet in the middle and have an exhibition game to get them both ready for their conference tournaments. We also talked about baseball. Actually, we haven't talked about baseball, but their matchup today with Emory and Henry was moved from today to tomorrow, and those will be doubleheaders at 12 and 3. It also affected, it also affected baseball's match up with EMU, which was supposed to take place today. It was already a makeup game from the time that the Royals came to Lynchburg for a doubleheader. Lynchburg was victorious that day, but the second game did not get played, so they had pushed it to tomorrow afternoon. Now, because of weather, pushing that match with ENH to tomorrow. Now, EMU's game against Lynchburg on the Diamond will be next Sunday here on LHSN. And if I don't stop, I'm just going to tell you the rest of the schedule for the rest of the year, apparently. So I will cease talking about the future. We will talk about the present, looking at Brianna Garcia-Sanchez on a free position. And a good stick check from behind that kept that ball from heading near Ferreira. I believe that was Lindsey Barrington, the sophomore from Middletown, Virginia, who got her stick up and kept that ball from making its way to 31 in gray. Lindsay has done some work in the past during her freshman season with LHSN, has an affinity for cameras. Look forward to a more traditional school year next year and could have her help once again, perhaps, if she chooses to do so. Another free position, and there's Ferreira with the save. Great to see Megan Hickey back out there. The freshman who took a tumble a little while ago, headed off the field, is now back on. You can see part of the big board there today, just with one still image. Very iconic L up on the video board, which will be up there for men's lacrosse as well. Of course, that team prefers the L over anything else, so appropriate to have it up there this evening. It was really nice to kind of do it in a primitive way, but able to put up the live feed of our senior day ceremony during the pregame up on the video board. It seems like such a novel thing to have, but only because it's never been here. Of course, our competitors have them, but they don't have this group. We're going to get some full training this week on how to do everything on that board, and we will continue to blow our competitors out of the water when it comes to digital media efforts. Now in venue as Nikki Santora goes behind the back and just misses left. Haven't seen a behind the back goal in women's lacrosse since Alicia Sandoval was wearing the gray unis, and I think it's a challenge now. Sandler and Santora may have come up with a bet on the sideline of who can score behind the back goal first. As there's a bit of a mixture of seniors and underclassmen on the field now. Lamont, Sandler, and Santora out there who have already scored today. Hughes as well as Seville are also on the pitch. And here's Tori King. Looks like Jackie Amato is out there too, and that one is stopped by Nixon on Santora. Big save against a really good goal scorer. And a shot clock violation. Lynchburg had their chances, but could not score, so I would definitely say that is a credit to the EMU defense that time around. And we have another timeout. 7:46 to go. All academic here. 22-1. Lynchburg on their way to a win.
Here's to life and here's to Lynchburg, to the years we spent together. I don't know when or how we gathered, but I know I'm home. So here's to love and here's to the heartache, all the laughter, every mistake. I don't know how our lives will be changed, but here I am home.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Apologies for the long time on mute there. As most of you know, I am not just the voice of the Hornets, so some things to take care of for after this game that I was trying to take care of. So we are back to work here. Under 7 minutes to go before Lynchburg goes on to win their 4th straight. They're honoring their 2020 and 2021 graduates today, which was so fantastic to see how many parents and family members were able to come and celebrate that. If you missed it, the DVR control is on for today's broadcast, so you can go ahead right now if you wanted to and slide all the way back to the beginning and take in those moments, or you can always go back and watch it later. Whichever you choose. We try to give you options here at LHSN. Leah Dumas has a goal today. Lynchburg, in fact, has 20 different goal scorers on the stat sheet this afternoon. One thing I failed to look up, and I apologize for that, for trying to fill up some dead space, is to see what's going on in the rest of the ODAC women's lacrosse schedule today. Unfortunately, the website's not working great for me, but we're going to navigate that just like we do everything else with grace and ease. And going down the list, we can see that Ferrum defeated Virginia Wesleyan today, 14-10. Randolph-Macon and Guilford was canceled today. That did not take place. And this is the only other game. So once this is over, women's lacrosse on this Saturday afternoon in the ODAC will be complete. Short and sweet conversation there. Under 5 minutes left before we prepare for men's lacrosse at 4 o'clock. Another battle of 460 taking place here at home this season. For the uninitiated, 460 is in relation to the route, the road that separates the two schools. Now, you can take at some point you have to take another road, but the large majority of that trip is spent on Route 460. So, wow. Did anybody else hear that bee? How awesome is that? We're the nature channel now. Out of all the places for a bee to go, they found our microphone. That was awesome. The Hornets are alive and in charge here today, both on the field and in Mother Nature. Kind of got me off my roll there. I was talking about the rivalry with Roanoke and Lynchburg, but nevertheless, you now know what Battle of 460 means. See who has the prominence of that, and we'll see it here on Wednesday when Lynchburg women's lacrosse hosts the Maroons at 7 p.m. here on LHSN. That is their next contest. Can EMU put another one on? No. Once again, Lindsey Barrington with excellent stick work, getting up and checking that shot from Katie Johnson. And keeping the Royals from scoring again. Juliana Galley has the lone goal for EMU. This would be the lowest goal total for the Royals. They had 8 at Bridgewater, 2 versus Ferrum, and 5 against Virginia Wesleyan. Lynchburg has scored now 22 goals just once, 21 once, and 24 once. That pass too tall for Camille Lamont. Scored her first career goal today. Prayers up for wherever that ambulance is headed. And many good wishes to Coach Russo and the Royals as they continue to try and build a program from scratch. As I mentioned earlier, just great to have another school seeing the benefits of adding lacrosse, whether it's men's or women's, adding the sport to their curriculum, if you will, to their roster of sports offered is great for enrollment to bring more students in, but great to grow the sport as well and get more people involved, understanding how fantastic it really is. It hasn't quite gained the national appeal yet. It still feels very niche, but those of us that are a part of that niche love it for a reason, and we got to do our part to spread that passion to others. Just like the one I have for motorsports. You can be a part of that passion by listening to a podcast, One Lap Down podcast, weekly on Spotify, myself and Coach Brad Dunn. And folks, that ambulance I mentioned is coming here. There is a Lynchburg player. Somehow I missed this. It may have happened during that last time out. Actually, it might be an EMU player. I can't see the jersey, but there is a player on, it is an EMU player, on the training table. And obviously we will continue to send those prayers for that player, as this is a first for me. I've been here for 6 seasons and I've done over 400 broadcasts and have never seen an ambulance come to take a player from the venue. And I'm doing a quick look around, and it might be Megan Hickey. Hickey went down earlier in the game and was in a lot of pain. Coach Randy Rimby looked at her, and actually she came back in the game, had a shot, and now she is no longer on the field. So I think it may be Megan Hickey, the freshman from Stewartstown, Pennsylvania, that is going to be stretchered off and put into the back of the Lynchburg Fire Department ambulance. And we really, really want to extend our thoughts and prayers to Miss Hickey and Coach Russo and the entire team. We are not sure what happened, but we know obviously it is not great. And that's all that we need to know to stay positive for her and for the team. That's it here today. The Hive has spoken, and the Hornets take care of the Royals in their first ever meeting, 22-1. We will be back on the air at 4 p.m. with Lynchburg Men's Lacrosse on LSN, the LAC Sports Network. Back on LHSN tomorrow for some softball action at 12, and then men's soccer ODAC Championship at 3 p.m. here at Schellenberger Field. For the entire LHSN crew, I'm Joe Hutzler reminding you it's a great day to be a Hornet, and we are one nation.